So back in 2020, I contracted Lyme disease, and it was one of those things that I had heard a lot about, especially growing up in the Northeast, but I just never thought I would end up with it. It's kind of, I guess I kind of use cancer in a similar fashion. You hear a lot about it, people who have it, but I don't ever think about cancer in regards to me having it. And in terms of Lyme disease, it was just one of those things when you really feel it in your body, when you feel the bacteria flowing through your blood, and your symptoms are just getting worse and worse. Um, it was just one of the most terrifying things I'd ever gone through. I mean, I remember having panic attack after panic attack, and just not knowing what the future was going to be. I mean, that was the first time I feel I had ever come face to face with my own mortality. Even though Lyme disease very likely won't kill you, it was the first time I ever realized that I could suddenly lose my health, and through losing my health, I could lose the life that I had become accustomed to living. And when that dawned on me, I thought about a lot of the things that I hadn't done yet in my life that I really wanted to do, and it scared me. It really did. It I just a little bit of a loss for words remembering it, but it scared the shit out of me. That's the best way I could put it. To make things worse, too, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and the doctors out there really didn't know how to treat Lyme disease. They gave me about a week long round of antibiotics, and they were like, "This will cure you." And after I took those antibiotics, I still felt my symptoms, and in fact, they were getting worse. And so when I went back to the doctor, and I was like, "Hey, I haven't gotten better. I'm still getting worse." And they were pretty much like, "We don't know what to do." They were like, "We did what the books told us, and we don't really know how to treat you. We don't really get cases of Lyme disease out here." So they recommended me to some specialist, but I remember this was during COVID, and it was like he couldn't see me for months. So I kind of just, I realized at that point, it was all in my own hands, my health, and this condition that was suddenly brought upon me. It was all in my own hands, and if I didn't take actions myself, I would have lost my health. That was my mindset at that point. And it's scary, because I never had to do that. I thought I could always rely on the medical industry, but it was at that moment I realized I couldn't. And realizing I couldn't just scared the living hell out of me, because I'm no doctor, I'm no medical expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I knew my health was in my hands at that point. So I decided to make a change, and the first step of this change was praying, of all things, which I had never really done before, but it just felt like the right time, and I had believed it in God at this point in my life, but I wasn't really practicing any sort of spirituality, or I wasn't going to church or anything like that. So to pray just felt like the strangest thing, but that was the first time in my adult life, at least, that I sat there and really tried to have a conversation with the big guy. And I remember exactly what I prayed for too. I prayed for my health, and I said, if you give me my health back, I will do everything in my power to be a better person. I'll do everything in my power to be a better person. And it was at that point too I decided to just kind of give up the control I was trying to have over my health, because at that point I was very much like trying to source antibiotics. I was very cued into the symptoms I was feeling, and like when they would spark, I guess you could say. when they would be at their worst. I was just very, um, it controlled a lot of what I was thinking at that point in my life, and I wanted to let go. I wanted to let go of those thoughts. I wanted to let go of the stress it was bringing upon me, the anxiety, and so, after I made that prayer, I made a very conscious decision to let go of the condition almost, or at least my attachment to it. And it's interesting because it wasn't an overnight thing, but it was after that things started improving. And as things started improving, it was almost like snowball effect, in the sense that I just started thinking more positively. The more positively I thought, the healthier I felt myself becoming. And I got to a point where the symptoms were pretty much gone. And to this day, they're pretty much gone. Every now and then, I still get arthritis in my hands and feet, which is a symptom of the Lyme disease. So I don't know if it's in my body anymore or not. I really couldn't tell you. I haven't been tested. I haven't gone back to the doctor for it since this period that I'm talking about. And but it doesn't play nearly as big of a role in my life, and I don't feel it nearly as much as I did when I first contracted the condition. And so with my health back, it became clear to me I had to, big man gave me his end of the deal. I gotta hold up my end of the deal, and that's part of what this is about. That's part of what bedlamite is about. I had to take care of a number of things in my personal life, and I'm still working on taking care of things in my personal life. But in order to be a better person, in my opinion, at least as I see it, I need to offer something to the world that can just help promote the positivity that I felt overcoming Lyme disease. And that's what bedlamite is. That's exactly what bedlamite is. It's a male mental wellness platform. We talk about mental health conditions in regards to male psychology. And we also discuss natural and holistic remedies to overcome those conditions. Because I firmly believe that the tools for our health are already available to us. We don't need to get a prescription to cure anxiety, for example. The tools to overcome anxiety are already within us and in the natural world. And so that's what this channel is all about. That's what this YouTube channel is all about, and that's what our website is all about. And if you'd like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below. But yeah, and the reason we discuss men specifically is the simple fact that it's not necessarily that men don't have access to mental health resources. They certainly do. It's just that I personally feel that most men are under the same mindset I am, which is that mental health is something we got to take care of ourselves. It's not something that we should put on our family or our significant other or even our friends. It's something that we need to address ourselves. We need to solve ourselves, and with that, I think it's that attitude that really prevents us from seeking resources. And I understand it. I think it's a very masculine thing to want to solve your own problems, to not want to rely on other people. And I think it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I guess I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to solve your own problems. And that's part of what bedlamite's about. It's about, figuring this thing out for ourselves and really getting a grip on our own mentality, and emotional maturity. Yeah. So if these are things that interest you, if you're a man that struggles, maybe you feel alone in your battles, this is what the platform's about. And, like I just said in my story, it comes from my promised to God that I would be a better person, and I would try to make the world a better place. You know, so long as I got my health back, and here I am with my health. So, if any of this interests you, I welcome you to subscribe. I welcome you to check out the website, and there's plenty more to come. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.